615 was rocking Mojave minerals. I found this in the back of the shed. It's too hot to get out in the upper Mojave. So let me show you what I call oddities and things that are out of place. This is one of those ones where you're walking along and you see it and you're like, the outside looks weird. So I picked it up, spun it around, decided to smack it with the hammer. And when I smacked it with the hammer, this is what I saw. Watermark agate. Very cool. I started to polish it and then I stopped. And then, where's the other part? That's the other part of that little piece. Same thing, I just don't have the equipment. I keep looking on Craigslist, but no luck yet. So let's switch gears here for a minute. An oddity, I'll call it, that I can't tumble. It actually broke right here in the bucket when I was bringing it home. See that angle that I'm always talking about? That's the tell for anything that's petrified wood. Got little knots on it, growth pieces, the whole piece of limb. Again, this is a piece of petrified wood. There's that angle. I wasn't sure what I had because I had just started doing rock hunting and I was more into the desert style agate. This is a whole piece of a limb. It has that angle on it that I always talk about as the tell when you're looking down from above it on the ground. That was the very first piece, and I said, all right. Another piece of petrified wood that I can't tumble, but it's from the outside, nearly a whole branch. I don't know, I'm just into that sort of thing. Let's switch gears yet again. So I'm out where there's a lot of jasper. Kind of zeroed in on it because it had a weird shape. So look what I do with my hand. Now, if it shows it well enough, you'll see that there's little pricks here with like an antler. That's what I would use if I was dressing this to make it a scraper. I don't think it's an arrow scraper, in other words, the shaft, but it definitely was sitting there for a long time. It's pretty much, nobody would want to live there. Not a coyote. I've seen desert tortoise, but here's another piece, very out of place. This one is definitely an arrow point. The shaft would have gone right here. The tip is broken off right there. Made out of quartz. Nice piece of quartz. When I was a boy growing up on the East Coast, I lived on a peninsula of land, and it was just natural to see these things in the fields after we plowed all over the place. Some were full, some were not, some were broken like this, but this is out of place. All right, I have some geode style action here. I've never really come across a geode, but I'm going to try. I have some, well, I actually have 3 pieces that I found in Chalcedony Hill. And I'm going to crack those open in another video. So there's that. And this, again, these are all just accidental finds. I didn't break them open. I saw them laying on the ground like this. This one was cool. Nice lines, crystal on the inside, super ugly. This one actually came from Afton Canyon. And I'm going back where I found this because I found this embedded but broken so I could see it. That's how I spotted it from a distance. So, Afton Canyon, I'm going back to look for more of these. But that's kind of one of the first rocks I picked up saying, hey, I'm gonna do something with that. I still haven't. That's 3 years ago. Some more pieces. Dolomite, I believe they call it. This one is from Mule Canyon Road out by the old ghost town, Calico Ghost Town. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Had this black spot and more or less silica around it. Can't do anything with it, maybe shine it, it'll look cool. Pendant. I don't do lapidary. Other folks might. Here's another piece of bark from petrified wood. See the angle? That's the tell. But a nice example of very colorful red that would be excellent if it were to be shined. But then you lose all this definition of what it actually is. I'm always torn. Look at the desert agate rings on that beauty. With a very blackened, petrified interior. Again, the outside. Love the color. The lines are very definite. Some good color in here, but I don't want to do anything with it because when I flip it over, I have this nice knot that's been petrified right here. This one, I can't wait to do something with. This is part of that blue chalcedony that I find at Acton, California. So this is going to go in my big bucket. That's pretty stuff. Thank you for watching my channel, Chef Gene in the Tumble Shed.